Alrighty then, everybody. Well, I gotta say, I didn't want to see that coming. Game before Texas, at a very underappreciated TCU team that hadn't been tested. Everybody was overlooking them. Everybody was overlooked. They said, we got Texas coming in. TCU's a good program, but they probably can't handle Oklahoma. In fact, Oklahoma couldn't handle TCU. In fact, the first true drives, it looked like Oklahoma was just going to go out and just head up the road to the Cotton Bowl and not even show up. But finally they did get things clicking and going and bumping, and it turned into one of the classic games in this weekend in college football. But it was an upset, as TCU wins it 37-33 in Fort Worth, as the Sooners get frogged late. Find out how it all happened next, only right here on Boomer Sooner 1982. Welcome back to the OU TCU post-game report. What a dogfight. What a dogfight. Both teams passing for over 300 yards. Both teams playing well. Both teams playing hard. This is how the stats broke down for each side. As I said, each one threw for over 300 yards. For the passing game, statistically, Trevon Boykin, 318, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. As far as our guy for the University of Oklahoma, Trevor Knight, 309 yards, a touchdown, and 2 costly interceptions. 1 and 2 pick six, and 1 at the end of the game, where he could have kept the drive going and possibly could have won the game. The rushing statistics, Trevon Boykin for TCU, the quarterback, also was the leading rusher with 15 attempts for 60 yards and 1 touchdown. The rushing game, not quite the Samaje Perine that we remember from 2 weeks ago in Morgantown, but still had 3 touchdowns, but only 25 carries for 92 yards. Receiving-wise, Colby Listenby for TCU had 5 catches for 103 yards and 0 touchdowns. This is the kicker. Wide receiver for the game, receiving, my boy, the Shep, number 3, Sterling Shepard, 7 catches for 215 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, 215 yards receiving to 309 yards passing. That leaves about what would you guys say, about 85 yards receiving by the rest of the team? That cannot happen. Cannot happen. Guys, if you're listening to me, Shep is a good player, but it cannot happen that way. You cannot expect to win on the road when you only have 1 player going over 100 yards. Actually, Shep had 200 yards, and Trevor only had 309 passing yards. Defensively, Chris Hackett for TCU, and another one of my boys from Oklahoma, Jordan Evans at linebacker for Oklahoma. Hackett had 13 total tackles and an interception. What about my boy Jordan from Norman North? Let me tell you how he did. 10 tackles, a forced fumble, and a pick. That's how he did his first true road game. Hats off to you, young man. 10 tackles, a forced fumble, and an interception. Kicking-wise, again, Michael Honeycutt was money. But as was Jaden Overcrum. Overcrum was 1 for 2, 50%, had a 31-yard make and a 32-yard miss. Michael Honeycutt made his 32-yarder. He was 1 for 1 for 100%. Punting the ball, Perry Effen and Jed Barnett played very well too. Perry Effen had 5 attempts for 45.2 an average, 54 along, and 2 of them landed inside the 20-yard line for the Sooners. Offense. Jed Barnett, 6 attempts, 44 an average, 56 was his long, and did not have one land inside the 20 for Oklahoma's style of special teams. The scoring-wise, as we said, TCU got clicking early. On the first drive, Clint Murphy recovers a fumble in the end zone for a touchdown. 10:03 left. TCU leads 7-0. Then B.J. Calderon doesn't fumble it this time. This time he gets in. Straight up 7 points. 7 yards, touchdown run. 14-0. TCU with 5:52 left in the first quarter. Then Oklahoma said, hey, we are not going to be bullied. Samaje Perine gets his first of 3 touchdown runs in the end zone, cutting the lead in half, 14-7 with 3:56 left, but TCU still leads this ball game. But with 33 seconds left in the first quarter, we start over at zeros because Trevor Knight finds Sterling Shepard for a 75-yard blast. 14-14 tie, 33 seconds left in the first quarter, and we're done in the first quarter. 14-14 is the score. Jump with me to the second quarter, where Trevon Boykin finds a 39-yard pass to B.J. Calderon. 21-14 is the score at this time. 12:06 left. TCU with the advantage. But, again, that guy, Samaje Perine, Rines himself another 1-yard touchdown run, tying the ball game 21-21 with 5:33 left. We got a tie ball game in Cowtown. Untying the ball game, here comes Jaden Overcrum with a 31-yard field goal, 24-21. TCU with a $1:39 left. And with no time left in the second quarter, heading to halftime, Oklahoma had 1 play left. A Michael Honeycutt 32-yard field goal. Up and, yes, sir, 24-24 is your tie heading to the third. In the third, Oklahoma finally finds a way to take the lead. Samaje Perine, his 3rd touchdown run. This one from 7 yards out. 31-24 with 9:28 left. And yes, that means Oklahoma, OU, has the ball game in hand. But a little bit while later, Trevon Boykin says, you may have it in hand, but I got a rocket of an arm. Because he's going to find Demonte Gray for a 29-yard touchdown pass. 31-31 is the tie ball game, and that's 6:48 left in the third. Pop with me to the fourth quarter. With those first of 2 interceptions by Trevor Knight, this one very costly as Paul Dawson picks it off. A 41-yard touchdown interception return. It is 31-37 with 14-12 left. TCU has the advantage. But on the point after, on the point after, Overchrome is blocked by Jordan Phillips and is recovered by Fort Worth native Zach Sanchez. And he returns it for the deuce still with 14-12 left. It is 33-37 right now, and that's the final score of the ball game. 33-37. TCU in hand. Hype was hype of the game. Stoopsy stop of the game. The hype of the game was the 53-yard bomb that Trevor Knight found Sterling Shepard with to find Oklahoma down to push Oklahoma down to the 12-yard line. There in the first quarter. That's when the offense really started clicking. They had absolutely no passing yards before then, but then came a 52-yarder. To Sterling, or 53-yarder, to the Shep. So what about Stoopsy's stop of the night? That might have come when Geno Grissom forces a fumble of Trevon Boykin and returns it to the 46-yard line late in the fourth quarter. The second of 2 turnovers for Oklahoma late in the game. Still couldn't capitalize. I think that the helmet stickers, I think that defensively there's no question. He's not played a lot. He played sparingly last year. He started this year. His first Big 12 roadie, and it's a big one for Jordan Evans with 10 tackles, a forced fumble, and a pick. Offensively, I think you have to give it to the offensive line. As much success as Trevor had passing for 309, he had a lot of incompletions. And after those incompletions, you have to protect your quarterback. Got to get your run game going if you're going to stay in the game. And they did stay in the game. So I think my hat goes off to the O-line for Oklahoma. Now, the Sooners will try. Well, no, they won't try. They will stay in the Metroplex. They'll head up the road a couple of miles to Dallas, to the Texas State Fair, where they will face the much-hated Texas Shorthorns. It's rivalry week, baby. For the final time for this one, though, Sooners get frogged late, 37-33 in Fort Worth. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can. Follow Facebook, Twitter. Facebook me, Twitter me. If you want to, Facebook is Harry James Taylor. It's pretty easy. All right, that's my name. Twitter handle is @SoonerFanOK. Thanks for watching, everyone. And as always, keep your head up. Boomer Sooner. And this weekend, get you a fried pie and maybe even a Fletcher corny dog. Thanks for watching, everyone. And as always, Boomer Sooner. Let's go beat Texas.